and welcome to another episode of Stuck in My Mind podcast. I am your host, Wize, and today's guest has helped more e-commerce businesses break revenue records than most people will ever meet. He's coached over 300 store owners, helped more than 100 brands cross the $1 million mark, and build one of the most trusted e-commerce growth firms in the industry. Build, grow, scale. This is about systems, not hype, strategy, not shortcuts. Please welcome Matthew Stafford to Stuck in My Mind podcast.
How are you doing? Thanks for having me.
Oh man, the pleasure's mine. Thanks for being a guest, man. I appreciate it. I know you're a little under the weather, so I appreciate you taking this time to be with us. So
Yeah.
Matthew, how did you originally get into e-commerce optimization?
Well, it really came from a need of my own. I had run a commercial concrete business for 23 years, got into doing e-commerce as a way to get off the road because I was traveling about 200 days a year around the country. And in that process, uh, I did a few different things, ended up owning a Shopify store and realized that there was a lot more to owning a website and all the different things that happen on it in order to get people to buy from it consistently. So really, out of my own need to create revenue.
Okay. So you've worked with hundreds of store owners. What's the most common mistake you see early on? And when we talk about store owners, we're talking about people who have like Shopify stores and all these different other ones.
Yeah. Yep. I would say probably the most common thing is that people put too much on the website or they try to include too much. They think that more is better. And typically, more is confusing or more isn't structured well. And so, more choices many times creates less sales. And it sounds counterintuitive, but we've seen it across hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars worth of sales now.
No, I feel because actually I have a Teespring store that for the podcast and for the publishing for the my production company and everything. And when I first started that, I had so many different designs up there, and I just recently simplified it. I just kept three designs and three new designs and just got rid of all the other stuff and just like, you know what, let me just simplify it. Like you said, I thought it was too much. Like it was giving people too many choices to like, how about I just break it down, make it simple. Here, this is what it is. You want it, you don't. This is what we got right now.
Yeah. We've done that. That's one of the hardest things that I can get a store owner to do is actually get rid of choices. It's really funny that you say that because I started on Teespring too, and then went to Shopify. But what I was going to say is many times, like they think like, oh, well, if I can offer this in a whole bunch of different colors, that means I'll sell more. But it doesn't. What happens is the people go, oh, well, I like this in blue. Oh, I like that blue too. Oh, I like red. Well, I'm not going to buy three shirts, so I'll come back later when I can decide. And they leave. But if you
Right.
just offer black, navy, or gray, you'll be shocked at how many more you'll sell.
Yeah. And yeah, I think it's been working better for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like you said, I've been able to just simplify it. Like this is it. And I have like three colors, four colors. That's it. And it's
Yep.
not, they
It
give you,
works every single time.
yeah, they give you a range of options to pick up different colors, but
Yep.
I was like, no, you know what? Let me just cut it back and just. So what separates store owners who grow fast from those who stay stuck?
Another good question. I would say being coachable. It's amazing how many of us get in our own way. And typically, we don't have a business problem, we have a people problem. There's lots of businesses that do what we do that are much bigger. And so it's usually the people that are holding the business back. And in all reality, many times the owner, not actually the team. Because when the owner gets some coaching, then the entire business does better, which means that the owner was the bottleneck.
Well, yeah, you would think it would come from ownership, right? Because they're the ones who set the pace, who set the whatever it is. They're the ones
Yeah,
who.
they make the decisions
Yeah,
based off of whatever unconscious stories they have or beliefs, limiting beliefs, and so on.
yeah. Why do many entrepreneurs focus on traffic instead of conversion?
I think that's a lot easier to blame for the problem. And I really don't think that traffic is the problem because most stores convert on an average between 2 and 3%. So that means for every 100 people that came from the ad or searched you and found your website, came to your site, and 97 or 98 of them left without buying. And so most people think like, oh, I need more traffic to make more sales. My thought process was, why don't we convert 4 to 6 of those 100 people or 7 or 8 of those 100 people? And then we can afford to buy more traffic than our competitors can because their average is low too.
Okay. Excuse me. So what was the moment you realized Build Grow Scale had something truly different from what other other companies offer?
Yeah, so we focus on data and analytics. And what I realized is it worked well for me. And then I reached out to 2 or 3 friends that I had sold t shirts with on Teespring and said, hey, I think I've figured out some things with this online store by going through the data and offered to do it for free to see if I had just been struck by lightning and it worked for my site, but not for them. And they got great results too. And so I realized that the data and analytics gave us the ability to predictably and profitably kind of foresee what was going to happen based off of the way that people are interacting with the website.
Okay. How did hosting BGS Live change your perspective on the e-commerce space?
Well, to start with, I had never spoken on stage before, so
So
that
that
was
was your first time?
yeah,
You
that
just
was
went.
that was a baptism by fire. But I will tell you that getting up on stage and sharing what's working, and then the amount of people that I got to talk to for several days about how our teaching had helped them, just gave me more fire and kind of motivation to share it with more people. And so now we do that all the time. Since COVID, we've only had one event, but we do podcasts online all the time and share what's working.
Awesome. It's because actually because I'm going next month. I'm attending Podfest in Orlando, and it's something for me because I get to connect with other podcasters and learn and build and learn how to market new marketing or whatever it is that I feel that I need to improve on.
Sure.
So it's good that you had the BGS Live, and because when people get to interact and network and build, they get to share ideas. Something that it's some hey, I'm working on this is working for me right now. Maybe you might want to consider trying it. And so it's
Yeah,
good to have events.
that's where tons of our successful case studies came from, was people that we met at the event ended up working together and helping them build their store. Which the part of that's so fulfilling for me is when someone has a successful store, that's a way for them to fulfill their dream, to be able to show up, for their family and their community the way that they do. So I love doing it. I love the interaction of people at the events. And yeah, that's where a lot of my confidence came to continue to share and continue to work at this, because you can see the results in the people's faces.
Yeah, no, I love going to events like Podfest because again, networking is important in what I'm doing here. But I think also for anyone in e-commerce, it's important to network and because you might connect with someone who's has a successful store and you're able to pick their brain and see what's working for them. So it's important to have those live events.
Yeah, I agree.
So you've helped stores go from thousands to millions. What systems actually drive that jump?
Again, I would say that our secret sauce is in the data and analytics. So being able to know the numbers, see where people are falling off the process or what they're not doing or what they are doing, and then optimize that journey. And like I said, the more traffic that you get, the more data we have, and so typically, we want to try to get that conversion from whatever the smaller amount is to more, because obviously more is better when it comes to sales. And if you can afford to spend more to acquire the customer, then you're going to win. If I have the ability to spend $100 per sale in traffic, and my competitor can only spend 70, 60 or $70, I'm going to get more traffic, and by the nature of that, I'm going to get more sales.
Okay. Email and SMS are often underestimated, right? So why are they such powerful revenue drivers?
Well, they're really indications of warm traffic. So typically, the people that haven't given you their email or SMS are still browsing. And I consider that once somebody has given you their contact information for a coupon or for a gift card or any of those types of things that you offer as incentive, those people have raised their hand and said, "Hey, I'm more interested." And a lot of times, the email and the SMS are also attached to the abandoned cart. So we see, though, your email typically, you want it to be 35 to 40% of your total revenue, which is huge. And SMS drives a huge percentage of the abandoned carts because it gets opened so much more. So I believe that a store that's struggling and not doing email and SMS could get those two things done and do them well, and they could actually have a very nice business. I really, really believe that those are two of the strongest levers that you can pull, and the third one being understanding your data and analytics.
Okay, yeah. Can you walk us through or do you have like a real client transformation story that could be that you could share?
Yeah, I can share. I mean, we've had so many of them. I'm trying to think of one that would be applicable. It's funny how many people say, "Oh, well, does this stuff still work?" And I have a client that I've been working with for about 4 years, just under 4 years. Their first year, we got them to $1 million, and it took 13 months, but they got to $1 million in sales. The second year, we hit 13.6 million. So we almost 14x. And then the third year, we did 36.8 million. So the truth of the matter is, it still works. It works very well. It's just a matter of if you're willing to do the work.
And that's my next question is e-commerce really still a thriving business?
Yeah, if I was going to liken it to a baseball game, I would say that we're in the third or fourth inning. So there's a long ways. There's a lot of things. It's constantly iterating, getting better. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. In fact, anything, it's growing still substantially.
And do you think with especially with Instagram and TikTok and these platforms and YouTube and all the other, but more Instagram and TikTok, how do you think the, these tools here can benefit someone in growing their e-commerce business?
Yeah, I would tell you that those are two of the main platforms that all the successful businesses that we work with drive traffic from. So yeah, they're definitely. I wouldn't say they're the only ones, but
Or
they're
yeah,
certainly top of the mind. And almost every brand I've ever worked with is using Instagram and TikTok now.
yeah, no, I it shows up every on your feed every time, like you just seen TikTok shop or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So and I don't know. I don't know if you know who Gary V is, right? And
Yep.
he's talking about um, direct sales now, right? Like whatnot and apps like that. Do you see yourself helping some of your stores maybe transition to doing direct sales as well?
We haven't got into that yet, so I really couldn't speak with any amount of experience. So I'd probably just say I'm not sure.
Okay,
Yeah, I've been focused really
on
what we're
what you're
doing
doing.
right now with the Shopify sites. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So what metrics should store owners obsess over, and which ones should they not really be? It shouldn't be something that they should be focused on.
Yeah, I would say the way that we look at something, from a high level is based off of their average order value, what is their add to cart rate?
Hmm.
So, and then from that point, that they would have less than a 50% drop off all the way through the funnel. So if you're at 10%, we would like to see, you know, probably 60% of those people make it to the checkout. And then from the checkout, we'd like to see 50% of those people actually do the purchase. And if not, then we would reverse engineer. If your add to cart is really low, then we know that you have issues on your product page or your filtering. If your add to cart is really high, but people aren't converting, then we know you have a problem at the cart or the checkout. And so we look at those numbers as a way to kind of diagnose where to go look at on the store. And then obviously we'll look at your percentage of revenue from email and SMS. And then we can kind of see if, if all your store numbers are good, you're just not sending enough people, then that just means, hey, you're converting well, you can go ahead and buy more traffic, and let's figure out how to do that profitably.
Yeah, and when you say buy more traffic, where do you recommend your clients?
Um, that's another good question. I think part of the reason that so many people struggle with making it is they try to learn two or three platforms at once, thinking they need all of them.
So you suggest one?
Yeah, and getting
Mm,
very, very good at it and understanding the metrics and before you move on to the next one. When you're trying to navigate two or three platforms and they're always changing and doing different things,
yeah.
many times that wears the entrepreneur out before they actually ever even get started.
So they'll burn themselves out trying
Yeah,
to blow up three platforms at one, or for whatever platforms that it is.
yeah.
So master one.
Yeah, get really good at it. They all have enough traffic that you can actually, get very good at them before you move on to the next one.
Okay. So why do quick hacks usually fail long-term e-commerce brands?
Yeah, things are always changing, and so just by the nature of the term, you're hacking the system means it's probably going to be short-lived before they figure out there's an error or it's not a good experience, and then it's going to stop working. We really, by using data and analytics, we're using behavior of the existing users instead of trying to trick them into buying something or hack people into getting more sales, because in the end what you really need is a good product and really good communication with the customer. And if you do that and do that well, then you're not going to need to have the latest greatest hack that's going to work now and then stop working.
Excuse me. How do you help founders shift from operator to true CEO?
uh, yeah, I'm not sure I'm the right one to ask that. Just for the simple fact that I really enjoy working, and it's hard for me to get out of the details. But that's kind of the nature of our business.
Yeah.
I guess, obviously understanding that all of our actions have leverage, which ones are going to create the most leverage. And if someone else can do it 80% as good as you can, and that frees you up to do more of the bigger picture thinking, a lot of times that's where the bottleneck is anyways. It's in the thought process and the thinking time that the owner has. They're usually bogged down with too many things. So certainly being able to back up and look at that 20,000 foot view, and then zoom back in on the areas that you need your attention rather than trying to do it all yourself.
So it's good to have people in place where you can focus your attention on, like you said, on the stuff that they need to focus on.
Yeah. Yep. Delegation definitely matters in order to grow and scale.
So where do you see e-commerce heading over the next 3 to 5 years?
Honestly, I think it's going to continue to be adopted more and more. Uh, Before COVID, only about 10% of people shopped online, or about
I
10%
know.
of sales were done online. During
Everybody's
COVID, it went all the way up to like 33. And then it dropped back down for a couple of years. I think right now it's right back to that 33-ish percent. So, we all think like, oh, wow, everybody's online. But the truth of the matter is there's still millions and billions of people that don't shop online. They still go to the store. They still do things that way. So I think it's just going to continue to get bigger and bigger. And now, with the large language models and AI, we're going to see even more different forms of traffic bringing people to our stores.
So what do you how are you integrating AI into anything that you're doing over there?
Yeah, we use it every single day. Every single person on our team uses it because remember, we're looking at typically, months worth of data, months worth of interactions, and we're trying to make sense of that. And what I will tell you is we're having the biggest wins that we've ever had in our business with our clients. And the reason for that is our ability to look at data differently than when we had to do it manually. By using AI to do it, we're finding things that we would have never found in a manual process.
No, you're absolutely right. It's helped me structure a lot of the things that I do with my podcast and with my publishing company, and so it's really helped me just simplify things for me. Like, but
Sure.
like just like you said, it breaks down data faster than we can manually.
Yeah, and it makes it a lot clearer too.
Yeah.
It can give us back information if we learn how to talk with it and what to ask,
Mhm.
tell it what we're trying to figure out.
Right. Absolutely.
The amount of stuff that we get back from it has been astronomical.
Um, it's funny because my wife is always like, "Oh, I need you to do something from. I need you to run something for me. Run this through AI for me and speak." And so when she does it, right? She doesn't, like she said. You need to tell her. You got to put in the right prompts. You got to tell her how you
Yeah.
really have to be descriptive with what you want from it. And so when she comes in, she it's whatever is simple answers or whatever it is. But then when she tells me what she wants, and I go in and I put the prompts and I put in whatever I need to put in, and I come back with data that she's like, I didn't get this.
Right, right.
Like, yeah, well, it's how you use it. People just and
Yeah.
it's just amazing how some people just use it for and I just people I just look at it and I'm like, you're wasting time with some of the things you're using it on.
Yeah, it's the smartest assistant anybody on the
Yeah,
planet will ever have.
yeah.
It's literally got a PhD level uh, knowledge in any subject that you could imagine. And if you learn to talk with it and just don't be afraid of it, but have a conversation, you'll be shocked at what it'll give you for results.
Absolutely. So what should store owners be preparing for right now?
I would say that honestly, AI is going to be the next big thing that changes e-commerce, and it's doing it in how those large language models are making suggestions.
Hmm.
And a lot of the people that use them have they really look at that whichever chat GPT they're using or Grok or whatever
Yeah.
is that they typically look at that as a trusted advisor. So when it makes a recommendation on a product, now all of a sudden that product has a lot higher chance of converting. So I think learning how to make your site easily searchable by these large language models is going to make a huge difference.
Um, oh yeah, it has. I've like I had a GoDaddy site before, and it was just plug and paste, right? And it was fine. I whatever I did, whatever I did, it was fine. And then I started using AI and started. I got this one platform where I can create my website with code and everything. So I started creating code on with AI,
Yeah.
and my website now is I've gotten so many compliments on it, like the way that I've been able to build it because of, again, the prompts
Yeah.
and what I truly wanted the website to look like and envisioned and put it into to AI, and it helped me really build a nice professional site.
Yeah, we use it all the time to suggest like different split tests
Yeah.
and to give us mock-ups, and then we send that to our developers. We have the advantage that we have several developers that work for us, but if we can use AI to describe what we're looking for, it will create a skin for the website of what we think should work. And when we send that, it makes it much easier for them to do their work without us having to go back and forth so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do you personally avoid burnout while scaling at such a high level?
For me personally, I journal and I meditate.
Okay.
So, there's some wellness practices in there, and I've really focused on my sleep hygiene over the last couple of years, making sure that I get good quality sleep. So for me, it's simple things. I like working, and so I enjoy it, and it doesn't really,
So it's not really work.
yeah, yeah, it's not. I mean, I certainly have times that I'm a little more tired than others about doing things, and I think being willing to listen to you and not thinking that like always just doing more is better, because typically by the time you get to that point the quality of work that you're doing is suffering, and so you're working longer and more hours to do less work than if you just take a little bit of a break and then come back to it fresh.
Yeah. So what advice would you give someone stuck under 1,000K?
Stuck under $1,000.
I'm sorry, 100,000K.
Typically, if you sold that much, then there's going to be signs of things that worked and didn't work. Let's figure out what is working and try to do more of that. And you know, I think that yeah, it's really a game of reverse engineering. What's working, what's not working. How do we do more of that? And that's why the data and analytics is so important for us to be able to do that predictably, because if we're guessing, it's going to take a lot longer to figure out if we're right or wrong. If we're looking at the data, a lot of times that will give us the strong indicators right away so that we can actually make good decisions.
Like say yeah, say they ran two specific ads, right? But and you know that when you ran ad A, your numbers really spiked up, right? They really jumped. And then you ran ad B, you had little traffic, whatever. So you would recommend them, hey, let's go back to what we did this on this particular ad and kind of like repeat the process with that.
Yeah, like look and see what message it was that got the ad or got them to click on the ad to come to the site, and then see if your website is congruent with that. A lot of times, if the ad's working really well, that's a good indicator of what the client is actually interested in. So the ads with good click-through rate or with good engagement, we typically want to go look at those and see if the messaging or what the hook was, and then figure out how to get that on the site, and that will typically result in more sales too.
Mm. So what does thriving actually mean to you? Not just in business, but in life as well.
Yeah, to me, that means that you're successful, and success is different to everybody.
Hmm.
So I guess the way that I would describe it is that I can work when I want to with the people I want to. And, that really feels successful to me. Choose to spend time with the people I want to spend time with, whether it's at work or outside of work.
Yep, absolutely. So, so if a listener takes one action after this episode, what should it be?
Um, Make sure that your site is so simple that Homer Simpson can figure it out. Like very, very simple always converts more. And so get rid of the complexity and learn your data. If you can do those two things, simplify the process for the customer and learn your data, you can do exactly what we do, and get better and better at it until you're an expert.
Awesome. Well, we've come to the part of the show now where you're gonna get the spotlight and you're gonna get the plug away, let everybody know where they can find you, website, everything.
Yeah, our website is buildgrowscale.com and my email is matt@buildgrowscale.com. So if you have any questions, you can come see what we do or schedule a call to talk with us, and we'd be happy to take a look at your site and see where we could provide some value.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Matt, for being a guest. I really appreciate your time. And again, I know you're under the weather, so thank you so much for being a guest. But don't leave just yet. Let me close out the show and we'll chat a little bit. But thank you so much for being such a great guest.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure's mine. Thank you. All right, everybody. Another great episode is in the books. If this episode helped you rethink how you're running your store, don't sit on it. Head over to Build Grow Scale, check them out, and book a free strategy session with Matt and his team. And if you know a business owner who's grinding but not scaling, share this episode with them because growth isn't about working harder. It's about building smarter. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I know I got some comments there. Hi, Desi. Hey, Dorian. Thank you for tuning in. Looking forward to our interview. It's coming up. It should be coming up soon, Dorian. So looking forward to that. And as always, everybody have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. Peace out.